Hey guys, welcome back. It's your girl Tasha, and in today's video I just wanted to talk to you guys about important life lessons that I wish I learned in my 20s. Your girl is 35, so to me it sounds like I'm like super old because when I look at what I learned or what I have been learning for the past few years, it's like I would be so hard on myself. So that's kind of why I wanted to make this video today, in case there are others like me out there. Don't want you to be too hard on yourself because life is a journey at the end of the day. Honestly, when I sit back and I think about where I came from and what I know now, I'd be like, girl, if only you knew. I feel like a lot of us are just so confused about who we are because there's social media, and then we look at other people's lives and then we just start to compare. You even see people your age and you'd be like, wow, like look where they have gone in their life, and then you just start beating yourself up because of it. It's hard not to do that, but at the same time we have to remember that we all have a different journey in life. We all have different personalities. We have different families. We have different pockets, different financial situations. So looking at someone else's life is basically taking away from yourself, because nobody can be me. Nobody can be you. So to look at somebody else and be like, why am I not where they're at? Literally, if we focus on ourselves, we'll be able to make our own story, myself included. I would look at other people's lives, especially people that are around my same age group, and I'll be like, but why am I not there yet? But at the same time, it all depends on your mind and when you start to understand yourself, because it's a conversation that you have to have with yourself. You have to hold yourself accountable, but at the same time you got to put in the work. Like stuff just like life doesn't just fall from the sky. Life doesn't just boom happen. Like when you see somebody else have something, it did not just happen. And it has a lot to do with what I'm about to talk about right now, because we all have decisions at the end of the day. So it depends on what we do with how we think and just our environment as a whole. You know, I'll probably make it make sense in a bit. One thing that I wish that I did in my 20s, in my early 20s at least, I wish I did this, or maybe even in my late 20s, because I do a lot of it now, is spending a valuable quality time with myself. If you don't spend that time to know who you are and to know what your purpose is, then while you're maneuvering life, you're just wasting time not getting to where you actually want to go. I feel like I did spend a lot of time with myself, but I feel like I didn't do it correctly. It's important to map out your life and see where you can adjust things to make things better. Every moment is precious. Like time these days goes by so quickly. The day could be done so fast. Like to me, I've been up here doing some work, but it's almost nighttime. And yesterday, you know, I was busy doing a lot of things, but other days when I realized what did I get done in the day, I'll be beating myself up if I didn't spend at least a few minutes trying to plan my week so that it's easier, so that I can get to my goals. Like, you know what I mean? So like things like that. Another thing that I wish that I did in my 20s, and this was major, I think it was very major for me because I did a lot of this, and that was having the right people in my circle. I don't feel like I did have a lot of the right people in my circle. And when I say the right people, I mean people that will encourage my dreams, not shut it down. People who support me as much as I support them. Like I feel like I had a lot of people around me, or at least a good amount, but a lot of it was me dishing out more of myself than them pouring back into me. The people that you have around you play such an important part of you in general, because like say you have dreams of being like a hairstylist, and then you go bring it up to a certain friend and they're just like, okay, but how are you gonna do that? Are you gonna make enough money doing that? But you're doing this right now. Like just not trying to encourage it, but just trying to shut it down. And the thing is that sometimes when the wrong people are in our ears, it's just so easy to just be discouraged, to be like, oh my gosh, maybe I can't do that, maybe they're right. But that's what they want you to think, because sometimes when people can't do something themselves, they just automatically think that you can't do it. For example, I've had people in my life where I've told certain things to, especially even about my channel, and it's like a major shutdown. No, you can't do it. How are you gonna do that? Like, you know, just trying to discourage me. And I had to learn so much on my own, but at the same time, I wish I just gave them the boot like a long time ago. We just have to normalize like getting people out of your life that just don't serve a good purpose, that are just there bringing you down in everything that you do, especially if you encourage them. Like, what? Like, friendship should never be a one-way street where you're just giving into somebody else. I've been there and it's dumb. Like, the me now, I could easily be like, honestly, I can't be chilling with you like that today, or I can't be chilling like that with you at all. I don't dislike you, it's just like you're just not for me. So easy for me to do that now, but I feel like the me before was just so much of a people pleaser that I just didn't put me first in that situation. So I'm just in something that is just not doing me any good. I don't care who that person is. I don't care. Let go of loose ends that are not bringing you to your future, because honestly, as life gets older, or you get older, you just be like, why didn't I do it sooner? With that said, another thing that I wish that I did in my 20s a lot more, just done like a long time ago, was just pour into myself, like believe in myself, because I feel like people expect a lot from other people, and then you're just so easy to get disappointed when you could just be doing whatever you expect someone else to do for you. As long as you love yourself, you can do for you, you know? Especially in relationships, it's like you expect so much out of another person. I hear all this talk about, oh, how much the man should pay, how much the woman should pay. I'm not doing no 50-50, or he has to make sure he can like take me on dinners and take me on vacations, when it's like, you can do that for yourself. I don't want to sit around and wait for nobody to do something for me at all. You're just setting yourself up for disappointment and failure and a waste of time, and then starting over in a relationship where you're expecting the same thing out of somebody else. With that, it just doesn't make sense. And then you even end up staying in relationships because you're so used to getting something from somebody else, when all this time you could be learning, building yourself, loving on yourself, to be able to not let yourself down. You know, nobody can talk to you when you can do for yourself. Nobody can kick you out and dash you on the road, or just have nowhere for you to live if you can do for yourself. Sometimes when you depend on other people, they just feel like they can control you, or they have something over you, and they just have you in a position where you're just like a beggy, just there waiting for the next move. I don't ever want to depend on nobody but me. It's so much better when you learn something yourself and you can just depend on yourself, because then nobody can tell you nothing. Another important life lesson that I wish I learned, even in my teens, much less my 20s, is how to manage my money, or even how to save my money, how to spend my money. Because yes, your girl is a budget shopper. I budget. But you know, there's times where your girl was working like full-time job while I was in high school, or I've held on to bigger amounts of money than I would normally would. But I wish I knew how to save it better, or how to invest it. I'm still learning how to invest my money properly, but I wish I knew that a lot back then. And this has a lot to do with just, my mindset and what I understood and what I knew, and the people that I had around me. Because I notice now that I have certain friends around me that I want to learn certain things, and they would give me advice on where to put my money and how to invest my money, how to get a return on my investment, and how to spend my money. And now that I even try to show you guys how I budget my money, I'm learning at the same time. But I just wish back then I just had more guidance with my money, because you know when you're young, like you don't really know how to spend. Like at least I didn't know how to spend, but I was responsible. Like I had a car early because the bus just was not for me, especially where I live. Like bus would come like twice for the hour and I just wasn't having it. So I would have to drive early. Plus my brother helped me get a car. I couldn't even pay for that thing myself. Even the friends you keep, they'll be quicker to show you how to spend your money or help you spend your money to see you blow it all, just so you have no money like that. But I ain't even saying this on a bad mind thing, like not at all. It's just that people are just not genuine, and people will see you with things and just grudge you for it, or smile in your face and just want you to lose things, you know? Because if, like, when I look back and I look at the times when me and certain people will be up, it's when I have money to spend, and then when I don't hear from them, it's because the money's done. So I just wish I just knew how to spend and where to put my money. Another thing I wish I knew earlier on is that I am my own competition in life. You're literally fighting against you. You're literally competing against yourself. The next person is the next person. Me, I'm doing this for me. It's like, for example, I just felt like I would be pressured into going to college early. I had a cousin who she was going to college, and every time I would go to her house, her mom would be comparing us, like, oh Tash, you're not going to school yet? How come you're not in college? So and so's in college already, and da da da. And I'm just like, why is this conversation every time? Like, who told you I was ready to even go to school yet? But back then I just felt like, okay, so you're comparing, you're making me compete against my cousin. Like, I'm supposed to be in school because she's in school, but I'm younger and I don't have nobody telling me like, oh, it's okay that you're not there yet. Plus I didn't really share this information with certain people, maybe to like tell me like, don't even watch that. But it kind of put pressure on me to think that I had to go to school. So your girl went to school and just wasted her money thinking she wanted to do law and things like that, when that wasn't my destination in the first place, you know? Even with that, it's like sometimes you get yourself into situations where you feel like you have to be competing with like even family members. Like I have family that just be calling my mom all the time trying to compare us, and it's like, yo, I don't live at your house. Like, what are you doing? Like, weirdos, okay? So it's like competing and comparing kind of thing. I hope it's like making sense. But I just want to say, like, even if you were to let something go, it's okay. Like, you shouldn't have to worry about what other people will think. Like, if you, like, say I left that and did something else, it's okay. Like, yeah, you're gonna be like, oh, why is Tasha doing this and why is she not doing that no more? That's your business. If you want to care what I'm doing, if you want to take your energy and focus on me, you clearly have nothing to do. Like, I just have to remember to tell myself, like, I'm competing against me. I'm doing this for me. I ain't doing this for nobody else. When I have to pay my phone bill, they ain't gonna pay in it. I have to put gas in my car, can I go knock on their door or call them to pay it? No. Tosh, it's on you, because it's your bills and it's your life at the end of the day. Another important lesson that I really realize is that there's going to be storms in life. When I say storms, like hard times. Life is not perfect, you know, and if it were perfect, then what are we learning? Things are gonna happen in life, and it's like life is just a roller coaster, and sometimes within the storm we learn things and we know how to just deal with life better. A lot of the times the storms that we go through, it just builds character and can change you for the better, and you learn from them. Because if we don't have lessons that we learn from, then how do we even know how to maneuver through bigger storms? Hard times are bound to happen. It's just part of life. It's a part of the journey. Which also leads into another lesson, which is change. Like, things are gonna change. Life is gonna change. Change is so important in life. I remember just always being so scared of things changing because you just don't know what you're gonna expect, and it would just build up a lot of anxiety in me. But then I realized growing up that you need change in your life. You might just wind up taking Uber because you just don't want to drive anymore, and it might be a better experience. You realize that, okay, if I take Uber now, I have time to do my notes or go through my emails on the way to work. I can use that time to do something productive. Whereas you just didn't know that if you did something like this, that you could actually utilize your time better on your commute to work. Like, change is about to happen. It's inevitable. It's good. Like, it's better than I used to think that it was. I would be so scared of it. And I think it's because, like, you know, I've had times in my life where I was young where, you know, things would change for the worse. But I look at it now, like, even if it's for the worse, like, it's life. Things do not stay the same. They just don't. Nothing good lasts forever. Forever is not promised. Like, we all know that. So things are going to change. You get older, you get wiser. Change is bound to happen in life, and we must embrace it, or at least I must embrace it, because it can only get better as long as I set my mind to just evolving myself and working around it. Another important lesson that I've learned in life, and it's something that, like, I implement every day because this could be so easily disturbed, is to be serious about keeping my peace. Just making sure that nobody robs me of my peace, because my peace is my sanity. My peace is my work ethic. Like, especially that, like, I come on here, I talk to you guys, you wouldn't believe the amount of times, like, I've had the enemy try to destroy my peace, because, like, if I'm in a bad mood or someone just does things to just throw me off, it's hard to come here and to talk to you guys or just do my hauls or whatever, because in, like, even certain professions that you do, your mind and it being at peace has a lot to do with it, at least for me. So I don't let anybody just try to rob me of that, because the devil will work through people. The enemy will do anything to disrupt your peace, and he will use people to disrupt your peace, especially if he sees you on the right path. He'd be like, what? Let me just send so-and-so to piss you off. And I would always try to, especially now, just to notice those things and to make sure that I don't let it bother my energy too tough. Like, I mean, there's certain times where it's just like, yo, really? But your peace is so important. I've been in conversations where I just hear a whole bunch of negative blah, 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 blah in my ear, when I'm literally just thinking about my day and how I've planned it to go good. Like, I'm literally tuning them out, because, like, it's not taking me where I need to go. Like, I'm just in a point in my life where I just have low tolerance. Like, even my friend was telling me, like, Tash, you probably just don't tolerate the same things that you used to. And it's like, I don't. It's not worth my peace. Like, if you're really gonna disturb it, you can, like, go over there, because I really don't have time for it, you know? People try to disturb your peace so well, like, if they just see you just being good to yourself. I seen this saying, like, I don't even remember what the saying said. It was on my phone, but it was something along the lines of, like, I'm gonna start doing me and showing up for myself, and let's see how you deal with it. You'll really see if a person is mad at you if you really start doing for yourself, because it will really annoy the shit out of them. The person that disrupted has got so much done in their day, and then me just here just being annoyed and just trying to regroup. So I just don't entertain certain people anymore if they're gonna disrupt my peace. No, not at all. The main thing that I've learned about myself now, that I really wish that I paid attention to a lot sooner, was that the only person that's gonna care about me at the end of the day, especially at this age that I'm at right now, is me. No one's gonna care like me. especially in 2023 going on 2024. There's so much going on. I wouldn't even want to expect somebody to care about me as much as me. Like, how? When you're growing up, you know, some people, they have their parents, their grandparents, their guardian, their brother, their sister, their aunt, their uncle, somebody, a foster parent, just someone looking out for them. But then at a certain point in time, you have to hold all the accountability on you. At a certain time, you have to take accountability and fix things earlier so that you just don't end up not being able to fend for yourself. Not that saying that people are not going to care, because people will care about you in most cases. As you get older and you start making your own decisions, you start driving your own car, making your own money, having kids, just doing you, it's all in your hands at this point, because nobody's going to baby you. You know, it's you for yourself at the end of the day. So that's why it's like, I wish I did all of these things earlier in life. Like, I look back and I wish that I did things a different way. But at the same time, even though I wish these things, I have to understand that God had his own timing. Like, I can't sit back and question God, like, well, why didn't this happen earlier? Maybe I didn't have the right friends around me. Maybe I just wasn't ready. Maybe he knew I had to get rid of certain people out of my life in order to even focus on me, and just, you know, it wasn't the right timing. I can always be like, yeah, I wish I knew these things earlier, but maybe I just wish I made better decisions. Maybe I would have got to the same exact point earlier on in life, but it just wasn't my timing yet. And it's okay that I'm doing it now. This was my timing. The circle that I had around me is the circle I'm supposed to have around me. The books that I'm reading now, these are the books that were made to help me. The way I think now, it's okay. It was supposed to happen this way. And I just wanted to make this for anybody who, you know, feels like me, who just feel like, oh my gosh, like, how did I realize this stuff so late? It's so late now. I'm too old now. Like, how am I going to be doing this at 35, 40? Like, no, it's not too late. Your timing was now. As long as you woke up this morning, and as long as you're willing to put in the work, it's never too late. It's not. It's never too late to start your journey, because the timing just aligned right. So I just wanted to talk about, you know, lessons that I wish that I learned earlier in life. But it's okay at the same time. I'm okay with myself. I'm not gonna beat myself up for it. It's just, you know, it's the way it is. So yeah, I hope that you guys got something out of this video. Leave a purple heart down below so I know that you made it this far. It means so much to me. Also, make sure to like and share these videos, guys. Until the next one, bye guys.